Extreme Collectibles here, extremely excited because of this Extreme piece. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just so excited, and not because of the statue, even though it is kind of cool. I'm so excited because in 2 days, Endgame is here. 2 days. I get to see it on Friday, so I got to wait 3 days. But I haven't been this excited about a movie since Episode 1, which back in '99. Which, if this is that bad, then I'm going to be really upset. Probably cry. But I'm sitting here with Barney. I'm sitting here with the Mad Titan. I coincidentally am dressed to match. And, you know, let's just dive right into it. And, you know, they were right. Should have gone for the head. Get it? Extreme Collectibles here with Iron Studios quarter scale Thanos. Really quick, if you notice the sound is off, that's because I got a new microphone. It didn't work either, so I assume my camera's broken, but that is what it is, and I will work on that later, which sucks because I have a lot of new pieces coming in this week, so a lot are probably going to be filmed with this bad echo. $850 of this guy made, $999. Which is weird they price crap like that because it's $1,000. That's too much for a statue. Oh, it's in the 900s? Hell, dear, let's get it. Told you I'm excited. I'm really hyper too. I had an energy drink today and I hadn't had one in like 5 days. And I've been so tired. Maybe that's the key. But anyway, Thanos, if you don't know who Thanos is, then why are you watching this review? He's one of the most iconic villains of all time. For me, it's particularly iconic because I grew up with tons of Silver Surfer comics. So obviously Thanos was always there. He was, the big antagonist of Silver Surfer. And this is the MCU version. MCU means Marvel Cinematic Universe, so he's different stylized than the comic book, even though their actions are quite a bit similar. And I do have the Sideshow Thanos on Throne right behind me, and I'm getting a custom Thanos on Throne as well. And there's so many Thanoses that are about to be released with Endgame. So he obviously does look different than the comic version. He is played by Josh Brolin in the movies, which if you don't know who that is, go watch Goonies. He's the older brother Bran. Interesting trivia too, when Samwise, who's Mikey, Samwise and him are arguing in the Fratelli's basement. Mikey and Brand are arguing. Sean Astin, the actor, calls Brand Josh. He calls him by his real name, and they missed it in editing. He goes, "I know what I'm talking about, Josh," and they missed that in editing. And if you already knew that, then you're a nerd like me. If you didn't, I know you're going to look it up soon. But anyway, Iron Studios made this piece. He's about 20, again, I'm not going to stand up because I don't have pants on, 28 inches tall, 20 inches deep, and I want to say he was like 14 wide-ish. Go to Sideshow or Iron Studios website for the exact specifics. Came in one very heavy big box, one layer of foam. The base is one piece. Captain America's shield is one piece, which we're going to talk about in a second. Thanos himself is one piece minus his head. He has two different head sculpts. The first here is the one I like more. It's lips curled back, teeth showing, very menacing. And then also you have the closed mouth, more stoic Thanos that you see here. And we're going to review both head sculpts because I love them both. And then the Infinity Gauntlet is a separate piece. And there's a lot of controversy over this because it's a flashlight, literally, not figuratively. It's a flashlight on the inside, which seems cheap and weird and stupid. Look at that. But guess what? It works really, really well. Here's a close-up of the light up. So I really can't knock Iron Studios for that. It's a simplistic and very effective solution. It's smart, especially if the light goes out. It takes 3 AAA batteries, which it does come with. So with that, let's jump right into the concept and design of this guy. This is the MCU Thanos. So this is presumably, at least in my opinion, on Wakanda, in the forest, the end scene, the final battle, the climactic part of the universe, where he's about to snap. I don't think he's snapped yet because he's still pissed. After he snapped, he's pretty calm, and he disappeared, and he had an axe in his chest. But here he is in the Wakanda forest, and he's lunging forward. Maybe he's taking on the Avengers. Maybe he's about to strike a blow. I think it's a great museum, a great half museum, half dynamic pose that'll pretty much work with anything. I'm going to put him with all of my quarter scale Avengers pieces. I have them all, I think, except Scarlet Witch and Vision. I've never found one I liked. I do worry about his size. He looks almost as tall as Hulkbuster, which is weird. I have quarter scale XM Hulkbuster, so he's going to be quite a bit bigger because the base is really big, but he could be displayed behind them. So eventually when I do a room tour, you're going to see that. Pretty simplistic design when it comes down to it. The one thing is Captain's new shield is on here, and I don't understand the purpose of this. Why this is the only thing on there. Maybe someone can educate me because they know more than me. But yeah, so that's the concept, the design. Everything fit together really well. No seams, no issues like that. A few discolorations on his shirt, which I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it's nothing I'm going to write home about or write Sideshow about, because I never hear back anyway. But by the way, if any of you watched my Prime 1 review, I contacted them again, told them I still have not Prime 1, Mr. Freeze. I still have Mr. Freeze's body, and they haven't wanted it back yet. But they haven't given me my money back either, so I should probably look into that. Let's jump right into the paint and sculpt on this. And this is where Iron Studios just mystifies me. I have 3 other Iron Studios pieces, and I've actually reviewed them all on this YouTube channel. 2 are 1/10 scale, and 1 is a 1/5 diorama of Juggernaut versus Wolverine. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. But that piece, Juggernaut, paint, and sculpt is amazing. The base, paint, and sculpt is amazing. Wolverine sucks ass. I wouldn't say that to him in real life because he'd probably make me suck his ass, but this is the same thing. Part of this is amazeballs, and part of it sucks ass. So let's start with the base, which sucks the most ass. This base sucks ass, let's just say it. So first of all, on the sides of this, as you can see, I think these are supposed to be a poor attempt at the Infinity Stones around each side. I like the concept, but the execution is horrible. It looks flat and bland, and there's no texture, and it's just a big miss in my opinion. Great idea, poor execution. The base, look at these supposed rocks and moss and vines. It looks like a plastic toy all over. I hate it. It's horrible. Captain's shield, look at this. It looks like another toy. It feels like a toy. It just broke. It just broke from me touching it because it's so cheap. For a $1,000 statue. Anyway, let's not harp on the bad things, because if that's all you do in life, you will be miserable. Just think about bad things. Think happy thoughts. So let's move on to Thanos himself, where parts of Thanos, nothing is as bad as the base, I will say that. Parts of them could have done much better, but parts of it are really, really good. So jumping at his boots, first I want to talk about the paint on here. The mud paint sucks because they didn't put any texture with it. I don't understand why they decided to go down that route. They lost a lot of opportunity. The sculpt on the front of the boots is kind of stupid where those straps are too. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look as bad as the base, but it just looks okay. I think there was so much better opportunity. The sides of the boots look good. There is a little bit more folds and bends in there, and I like the material they used, and the color does a decent job popping. Then he has his gold kind of shin guards at the front of his boots. There's some paint opportunities where the brown and the gold meet, and then the gold is almost this faded color, which is okay. Has kind of these black streaks in there, and I don't know if it was a production issue. It kind of looks like it was, to be honest with you, or if it was intentional, because there's mud and crap like that below here. So, his pants. I love the texture on his pants. They used a few different colors of green with variation. Interestingly enough, they have some cool seams in there. I like the folds around his nether regions, but they did a very, very good job highlighting that texture everywhere. Thanos' nether regions. Man, now I'm thinking about it. You are too. I wonder if they're the same color. Blue balls. Anyway, back to Thanos. His belt, again, kind of the same opportunity that they had on the gold parts of his boots. Gold almost looks faded. Looks like a poor paint job. I think it was a production issue. The brown looks okay. And moving really up to the armor by his head, same exact thing. I don't know what they were thinking with this gold, because realistically, Thanos didn't have too many fighting scenes where it should be this tarnished. It should be newer, it should be shinier, at least in my opinion. Moving back to his purple shirt, I really like this, to be honest with you. It's a good contrast with his skin color. I like the texture, it's not too much. And again, the way they made it flow, the different seams in there and lines. It's a really cool shirt. I like it a lot. And then moving on to the anatomy of his arms, it's okay. I think they did a good job, but I've seen much better sculpted anatomy and muscles. There's a few veins in there, but not many. And he has those 4 lines running all the way down, like he does in the movie. And the coloring is really good. I think it's a little too light. It's so reminding of Barney, but I think it matches the movie, so it's decently accurate. His fist looks okay. Nothing to write home about. Some decent texture in there and that same coloring. The Infinity Gauntlet is kick-ass, in my opinion. It's really, really good. Why isn't the light on? Oh, there it is. It's really, really good. I love the tarnishment on it. Again, it was a little newer in the movie, so they could have done better with that. They used a different colored gold than they did on his armor. The jewels look fantastic, both lighten up. However, but really good job. I like the pose too. There's almost some chainmail below it. You see that? And then let's go to the star of the show, his portraits. His portraits, I think, are a knockout of the park. First, as you see here, his angry portrait, fantastic likeness. I love the lines, I love the texture, I love the eyes. The eyes look real. Very good job. His teeth and his gums and how his lips are being pulled back and his ball-sack chin. Really good job, and the paint just really complements it as well. It's not just the sculpt in there. And then on his closed mouth portrait, everything's pretty much the same, except you don't see the angry lines around his eyes being pierced or squinted, or around his cheeks. And again, the lips very stoic. This really reminds me of what he looked like at the very end of the movie when he was sitting, job well done, and he was on vacation. So those are my overall thoughts on this piece. First of all, to my knowledge, the only quarter scale MCU Thanos, so it's a keeper, 100%, based off the sculpt of the clothing and the Infinity Gauntlet and the portrait, and I think it's a knockout of the park. I do know another company was working on a similar one, but they're never getting back to anybody, so I wasn't going to cancel this and pull up on the trigger for that, but since they don't respond to anybody, I guess that's an issue. Plus, I've never bought from them before. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think of this piece. Let me know when you are going to Endgame, or if you've already seen it. This may be days later, or months, or years. I can look at myself years later. Isn't that great? But let me know your comments, what you think of the piece. Please give me a like. Please hit subscribe and that bell. I upload new reviews at least 3 to 4 times a week, if not more. And this week there's going to be quite a few, so I need to get that freaking mic fixed. But I really appreciate you watching.